this story is just something else, man. Tony Khan trying to buy WWE in 2023. It makes you think, why, Lucas, you're doing an upload on this? Yeah, so technically reported first on Limited Center, but still. This story is just it's just something else, bro. It's a complete freaking hilarious freaking article, if you ask me. But anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show. For my reaction to Tony Khan saying he wants to buy WWE, or wanted to buy WWE in 2023 before he sold to TKO and Endeavor and Ari Emanuel and the people that run TKO Group Holdings. Oh yeah, they go follow me on social media, Wrestling Limits, Sadie's XRS, and Lucas E. Allen 1018. Watching today's podcast on YouTube, hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn the bell if your post notifications up on his channel. And always feel free to leave a comment. The episode of this Tony Khan reaction video with him trying to buy WWE in 2023. Also leave me a comment to get this all of this say at least. Also on Spotify, if say anything, leave me a comment on this as well. And also a 5-star rating would be very nice as well to say at least. Shall we get started by the article, man? Can't believe I'm actually reporting this year 2026, man. But that's just wrestling for you, honestly. According to a report from Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics and Post Wrestling, newly unacted court filings from a shareholder lawsuit revealed for the first time that Tony Khan's company, Base 10, also known as All Elite Wrestling, submitted a bid to acquire WWE in 2023 before Endeavor ultimately won the merger that created TKO Group Holdings. The complaint originally filed in the Delaware Cherney Court in November 2023, and recently unreacted confirms that Base 10 was among 4 companies that submitted former offers to acquire WWE following Vince McMahon's return to the company in January 2023. It's all about confirming who's why Vince McMahon not sell to Tony Khan. Because they don't want to sell to each other, bro. They really don't want to do business. Vince McMahon and Tony Khan and Triple H do not like each other. At least Vince McMahon and Tony Khan, Vince McMahon and Triple H don't like Tony Khan. That's just a fact. Although Tony Khan is not mentioned in the file name filing, Base 10 and All Elite Wrestling are among both referenced, with the filing stating that the Base 10 is the owner of All Elite Wrestling, a professional wrestling promotion that plainly would enjoy significant insurgencies with WWE. Obviously, want to create a forbidden door, obviously. A true forbidden door, like WWE versus AEW talent, bro. That's the ultimate forbidden door, honestly. Or they both companies don't like it or not, honestly. Base 10's bid of $76.83 per share was the lowest of 4 offers by a considerable margin, representing a full company valuation of approximately $6.9 billion. KKR, what that means I don't know, offer between $90 and $97.50 per share, representing a valuation of $8 billion to $8.7 billion. Liberty Media between $95 and $100 per share, valuing the company at $8.5 billion to $8.9 billion. More money, I know. You're all so entertained, I can tell. So nobody ever. Endeavor's winning offer was an all-stock deal. Oh my god, deal, excuse me, I can't fucking speak today. Value at $95.66 per share before insurgencies, with WWE investors converting to TKO shares. Upon closing, TKO shares price currently trades at approximately $200, roughly doubling the bid prices from 2023. The post-deal narrative did be filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission after the merger was agreed to had amortized the bidders under predominance. KKR was referred to as a financial sponsor 1, Liberty Media as a strategic party 1, and Base 10 was strategic party 2. So much fucking strategic bullshit I don't care about, but it is what it is. Though their bid prices were disclosed and connected to these fandom for Possum doesn't know what to fucking say it, honestly, nor do I fucking care. Khan's identity was the party behind Strategic Party 2. It's now being made public for the first time through the unreacted filings. And finally, the SEC filing. Also know that the party is now confirmed that the base 10 indicated that it would need equity and debit financing partners in order to complete a transaction, with WWE suggesting that the bid lacked the financial backing of the 3 other offers. Let me stop there for a quick second. Like, Tony Khan, he's like a multi-billionaire. At least this is the Khan family, to say the least. Not Nick Khan's family, more Tony Khan's family. With Shad Khan Company, the running Jacksonville Jaguars. So I find that hard to believe, honestly. That's what I have hard to believe. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's like trillions of dollars, and maybe. Base 10's bid did not advance to the data room stage, where 3 main bidders were granted access to non-public information about WWE as part of the standard acquisition process. This story is just something else, ladies and gentlemen. More money, bro. This is unbelievable. Now, that was my thoughts finally. 6 minutes on this upload, by the way. This podcast, to say the least. When I call it a podcast, I don't blame you. Don't call it a podcast. I've been up on YouTube and Spotify. You get a point. I said this on Limit Center. I think it was on Friday. I did the last edition of Limit Center. Or it was Saturday, actually. This is SmackDown Review Day. Tony Khan has never had no chance of buying WWE. With the McMahon family, Triple H, and stuff like that involved, like, they're never going to work with Tony Khan. They're just never going to work each other. And I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mind that. Competition is great for all professional wrestlers. I think competition is great. You see companies going back and forth with free agency and stuff like that, going back and forth with these wrestlers, and which wrestler wanted to sign with WWE, AEW, and hell, even TNA, even New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe even CMLL is inclined with New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW. Same thing with TNA with WWE. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to indie scenes. I don't know. But I think competition's great. But Tony Khan stood no fucking chance in this. He can have all the money in the world. Vince McMahon was never going to sell to Tony Khan. Stop basically admitting that Tony Khan beat him. He was never going to do that. So that's not what the shock value in this all could be. I find it actually hilarious that he actually bid one. I'm not saying he couldn't bid an offer, but he actually did here, obviously. But I just find it hilarious that he wants to buy WWE, wants to originally even buy WWE after all the shit he said about them. Granted, probably will run the company in Vince McMahon, Triple H. To be fair, they started this shit with Tony Khan, especially Triple H, the Pissant t-shirt company. Remember that shit? Yeah, I prefer it to be not with Triple H's cringe-ass fucking voice. To say the least. Like, why was Vince McMahon and Tony Khan even work together, period? Want a sale. Matter just the creative process. The sale is never going to happen. I never would honestly believe Vince McMahon year 2023 at that point, even especially now, even more so. Not want to sell to Tony Khan. He's not going to want to sell anything to Tony Khan. He probably won't want to sell as a magical $1 worth as watch if you probably wanted, honestly. And it's like, yeah, just an example. He would probably not even sell a pencil to Tony Khan. That's how freaking petty Vince McMahon would be. That's how much Vince does not like Tony Khan. Triple H doesn't like Tony Khan either. Probably more so than Vince McMahon. But these two promoters, Triple H and Tony Khan, never going to go business. Much as the fans would love to see a AEW and WWE Forbidden Door type pay-per-view, or PLE, whatever, it's never going to happen. Unless for a miracle and all things holy, that Triple H and the McMahon family are out of WWE in general. Obviously, you still got, like, Stephanie there, you got Triple H. You don't have Vince McMahon anymore, obviously, thank God of holy. Obviously. Fuck Vince McMahon. Not that Triple H is much better, but you get the point, obviously. But seriously, Tony Khan stood no chance in buying WWE. Let's just all be real for ourselves. He stood at least a negative, like, 10% of a chance to buy WWE. Much as he wanted to do so, Vince McMahon was never going to be not stubborn enough to not sell to Tony Khan. And All Elite Wrestling, Shad Khan, and guys, and the Khan family of say at least. Because that would be a admitting failure to Vince McMahon. No, Vince McMahon does not want to be admitted to failure in any way possible. That's just Vince McMahon operates. So he acts like his shit don't fucking stink. He doesn't act like his shit don't fucking stink. Right, same thing with Triple H and Tony Khan. They all these promoters act like their shit don't stink. That's how pathetic they are. But still. Honestly, I'm glad Tony Khan not buy WWE or didn't get the offer, didn't get the chance to. Obviously, he had an offer, but I'm glad he actually didn't get the accepted offer to buy WWE. So that would make Tony Khan like God at this rate. He has both the biggest 1 and 2 companies in both wrestling America, in WWE and AEW. If you don't think AEW is the second biggest company in the world, I don't have to fucking tell you, dude. It ain't TNA, it ain't New Japan. Get out of your thick skulls, you idiots. It ain't TNA. Forget that shit. Get that out of your fucking skull. Not their AMC debut. Now watch why I was sense of TNA sense. Shout out to Elena Black, though. I'm a big Elena Black fan, obviously, but still. Former Cora Jade, obviously, but still. And it makes sense. They got the talent in TNA. But so let's just get back to the topic, shall we? But Tony Khan stood no chance. He stood no chance. Vince was never going to sell to Tony. It's basically the Vince McMahon is like he passed the torch to Tony Khan, and Tony Khan is not even wanted. He probably would have liked that, obviously, but Vince McMahon would not have liked that. I'll tell you that right now. He would have never liked that shit. Having to put over Tony Khan. Oh boy, that'd make Vince McMahon's life a living hell. So anything with Triple H would have been that way. Damn well. But seriously, dude, like, this story is kind of laughable to a point. I'm not gonna lie. The Tony Khan basically be like the new Vince McMahon if he would have bought WWE. He really would have. I don't know about you guys, but as much as people, these tribalistic assholes online, imagine what their fan base looks like with both companies if Tony Khan would have bought WWE. You want to imagine the WWE freakos will sound like, bro. Oh, damn, that'd be the end of the world for them, bro. It really would have. Or maybe they'll maybe eventually appreciate the AEW finally. After karma bit them in the ass. You know what I mean? I hate tribalism. Tribalism can go to fucking hell. I hate tribalism. Now, what are you, the WWE Freako fan base or AEW Sicko fan base? They're both dumb. They're both dumb. That's why you see I be fair and support both companies while also supporting the talent. You can't just pick one side and just sit on the other. It makes no sense. You call yourself a professional wrestling fan, and you gotta support professional wrestling, dude. Not just one fucking company and shit on the other. Or it's one company, you praise one company and shit on the rest of the companies, but still. That's how these tribalism assholes are, bro. They're fickle. As Bryan Danielson would say, fickle. 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 You know me, bro. You know me. But I'm glad Tony Khan not get WWE. I'm really glad he did, because I love competition. That's what I'm trying to say here. Competition is key. If one spot speaks of storytelling, the other one's professional wrestling. I think they both need to do the opposite sometimes. I think Triple H needs to focus more on story and professional wrestling more, with also doing storylines in the end. I'm not saying you can't do your own storylines. That's great. I love storylines. I'm going to talk about Tony the other side in a minute. You gotta meet your audience in the middle. One side does too much professional wrestling, the other side does too much sports entertainment. That's what they do. One side claims they want to claim they're professional wrestling, but they're really not. Just look at the match card we have at freaking WrestleMania. You have a chance to get fucking Jelly Roll on that show. Is that really professional wrestling, dude? Is that really professional wrestling? The answer is no. Over guys like LA Knight. Hell, I saw this discuss this on Limited Saturday. We don't know what Tiffany Stratton was Tiffany Stratton beyond WrestleMania. And she was in the Women's Championship match on SmackDown last year. You know how fucking sad that sounds? You can't, even Julia. Now, it's remains to be seen. The matches happened on SmackDown, Tiffany and Julia for the Women's U.S. title. Remains to be seen as like a DQ or something like that. Or a rematch at WrestleMania. Or maybe I like Chelsea Green or Kiana James. I don't fucking know. Like a clusterfuck fatal 4-way. What alarms me with this match on SmackDown, I'm not going to be two great pro wrestlers, don't get me wrong, but still. We don't have Tiffany Stratton on that show when you clearly have. We want Jelly Roll on the show. That's to prove how fucking fucked up 2026 WWE is, honestly. But honestly, going back to the topic here, obviously, what a tangent just went on there. I'm gonna finish this up, obviously. I am glad Tony Khan not get the accepted offer from Vince McMahon. I am glad, actually. So I love competition. Granted, that both companies have their problems, absolutely. I'll call that shit every fucking time on Limit Center and shit, people. The both companies have major problems. Completely different from one another, but still. That's what I gotta say about this in all honesty to wrap us up on this podcast, to say at least. In all honesty, Tony Khan, as much as you want to be like the new version of Vince McMahon to a point, you be your own thing and worry about All Elite Wrestling, right? Now, Danny, if you get your shit together, then maybe if WWE is still their stubborn ways and they want to do something different, like fire Triple H or whatever, and maybe they get rid of TKO and shit, maybe then you can buy WWE if you can get your shit together. But then again, I still like competition. I like different promoters, different creative rooms in the companies. Granted, they both are creative? Absolutely not. But still. But that's my thoughts on this whole thing to say. Let's wrap this up. And a special edition of Lucas E. Allen 1018 on YouTube and Lucas E. Allen Show on Spotify to say at least. Thank you all for watching this special edition of Lucas E. Allen 1018 on YouTube podcast. Limit Center to be a point to, I want to call it that. And Lucas E. Allen Show on Spotify. My reaction to Tony Khan saying he wanted to buy WWE in 2023. My reaction to this is to say at least. Watch on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe button, and also turn the bell for our post notifications up on this YouTube channel. Watch on Spotify. Don't forget to hit that 5-star rating, leave me a comment as well to say at least. Until next time, I'm sure to definitely be the next time, everybody. Peace, love, right? I'm out. Love you all big time to say at least.